I spent my savings on her rehab. The day she got clean, she dumped me for her sober coach, saying we had nothing in common anymore. I sent her an invoice for medical support on her way out. She laughed until her credit score tanked and her new guy left her. I, 32 male, just got dumped by my girlfriend of 4 years, and I'm sitting here looking at my bank account with exactly $847 left in it. 4 years ago, I had $68,000 saved up. Let that sink in. Her name doesn't matter anymore. We met when I was 28, she was 26. Normal relationship stuff at first. Dinners, movies, weekend trips. She had this energy that just pulled everyone in. 6 months in, I noticed she was drinking more than usual. A year in, it was pills. By year 2, it was both plus whatever else she could get her hands on. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some hero who stuck around out of pure love. Part of me thought I could fix her. Part of me was just too deep in to walk away. But I did love her. That part was real. The real spiral started about 18 months ago. She lost her job, marketing coordinator at some startup. Then lost the next one. And the next one. Each time it was, they didn't understand, or the boss had it out for me. Never her fault. Never the showing up late reeking of vodka or the 3-hour lunch breaks. I was covering rent by then. Her half, my half, all of it. She moved into my place temporarily, which turned permanent real quick. I made decent money as an HVAC technician, owned my own small company with 2 employees, but watching $2,400 go out every month just for rent, while she contributed nothing, started wearing on me. But here's the thing, I kept thinking she'd get better. She'd promise to get help, cry, tell me she needed me, and I'd believe it. Every time. The breaking point came last January. I came home and found her passed out in the bathroom. Not sleeping. Passed out. There was vomit, blood from where she'd hit her head on the sink, and for about 30 seconds I genuinely thought she was dead. That was the day I told her. Rehab or we're done. No more chances. She actually agreed. Looked me in the eyes and said she was ready. Said she wanted her life back. Said she wanted US back. The facility I found was one of those nice ones, you know? The kind that actually has a good success rate instead of just being a revolving door. It costs $32,000 for the 90-day program. My insurance wouldn't cover squat for her since we weren't married, and she had let hers lapse months ago. I paid it. Drained most of what was left in my savings. Told myself it was an investment in our future. She went in February 1st. For the first month, I could only talk to her once a week on supervised calls. She sounded good though. Hopeful. Said she was doing the work, going to all the group sessions, meeting with her counselor. I drove 3 hours each way every Sunday to visit during the approved visiting hours. Month 2, she sounded even better. Clearer. Like the person I'd fallen for was coming back. She told me she loved me, that she couldn't wait to start fresh with me, that she was gonna make everything up to me. Her sober coach was assigned in week 8. This dude, let's call him Chad because of course he looked like a Chad, was part of their aftercare program. Helped clients transition back to normal life, accountability check-ins, that whole thing. She mentioned him once or twice. No big deal, right? She completed the program March 30th. I picked her up that day with flowers and everything. Took her to her favorite restaurant, the one she'd been talking about craving for 2 months. She seemed off. Distant. Kept checking her phone. We got back to the apartment around 8 p.m. I'd cleaned the whole place, bought new sheets, had sparkling cider in the fridge because obviously no alcohol. I thought we were going to talk about next steps. Maybe she'd thank me, maybe we'd just watch a movie and enjoy being together. Instead, she sat me down and said, "We need to talk." I knew. You know how you just know? I've been doing a lot of self-reflection in there, she started. And I've realized that we're just in different places now. I'm sober, I'm growing, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. And you're still the same person you were. I just stared at her. I need to surround myself with people who understand my journey, people who are on the same wavelength. You've never struggled with addiction, so you can't really get it. I paid $32,000 for you to get clean, I said. My voice sounded far away. She actually had the nerve to look annoyed. And I appreciate that, but this is about my growth. I can't be held back by guilt or obligation. My therapist says that's toxic. Your therapist or your sober coach? Her face gave it away before her mouth could lie. He gets it, she said quietly. We connected on a deeper level. He's been where I am. Turns out they'd been texting for 3 weeks. Nothing physical, she swore, but she was moving in with him. He had a place about 40 minutes away. She'd already packed her stuff, what little she had, during the 1 hour I'd left her alone to pick up dinner. I asked her when she was planning to tell me. She said, "I'm telling you now." Before she left, I handed her an envelope. She looked confused. "What's this?" "Invoice," I said, "for medical support services rendered. $32,000 for rehabilitation program, plus $28,000 for 18 months of living expenses, emotional support, and crisis intervention services. Total, $60,000. Payment plans available." She literally laughed, like threw her head back and laughed. "You can't be serious, that's insane. You can't just invoice someone for being in a relationship." "Read the fine print," I said. I'd spent the 3 hours she was packing with my buddy who's a paralegal. "You signed a financial responsibility agreement when you moved in, agreeing to split costs. You haven't paid rent in 18 months. The rehab money was a loan, verbal agreement with witnesses. My sister had been there when we discussed it. And you're now in breach of that agreement." Her laugh died. "This won't hold up anywhere." "Maybe not all of it, but some of it will. And even if it doesn't, I'm still filing. Have fun explaining to your new boyfriend why you've got a legal claim following you around." She called me a manipulative asshole and left. Didn't even take the invoice with her. Just left it on the counter. That was April 1st. Yeah, April Fool's Day. Universe has a sense of humor. I didn't hear anything for a week. Then my phone started going off. Update 1. 3 weeks later. So it's been 3 weeks since the breakup, and holy hell, things have escalated. First off, I actually went through with filing the claim. Took the invoice, all the receipts I'd kept, and thank God I keep receipts for everything, bank statements showing the rent payments I'd made solo, and the text messages where she'd promised to pay me back when she got on her feet. To a lawyer. Cost me $400 for a consultation and to have him draft an actual demand letter. My lawyer said I had a decent shot at recouping at least the rent money, maybe 30 to 40% of the rehab costs, if I could prove it was discussed as a loan. Not perfect, but better than nothing. The demand letter went out April 10th. Certified mail, she had to sign for it. That's when her true colors really came out. April 12th, my phone started blowing up. Not from her, from her mom. 53 texts in 2 hours. I counted. The mom was going off. How dare I try to profit from her daughter's recovery? How dare I put a price on love? How dare I kick her while she's trying to build a new life? I was a narcissist, a financial abuser, a predator who took advantage of her daughter's vulnerable state. I replied once, I paid for her to get clean. She dumped me the day she got out for another guy. I'm recouping my losses. That's it. She sent me a voice memo, 8 minutes long, screaming about what a horrible person I was, how her daughter deserved better, how I was trying to ruin her fresh start. The irony of calling me horrible while defending her daughter abandoning me after I spent my savings on her wasn't lost on me. I blocked the mom. Should have done it sooner. Then my ex started texting. Not apologetic texts, threatening ones. "You're going to drop this, or you'll regret it. My coach knows lawyers. You don't want to go down this road. This is harassment, and I can get a restraining order." I didn't respond. My lawyer said not to engage, so I didn't. April 15th, tax day, another fun date. I got a call from my biggest client, commercial property management company that I'd been doing HVAC work for over 3 years. They wanted to discuss some concerns. Turns out my ex had called them, told them I was financially unstable and going through a mental health crisis, and they might want to reconsider using my services. She didn't have their number before, which meant she'd gone through my office files during one of the times she'd stopped by to grab something she'd forgotten. My client was cool about it. Asked me what was going on. I gave him the Cliff Notes version. He said, "Sounds like you dodged a bullet." And that was that. But the fact that she'd tried to mess with my livelihood, that was a new low. I documented it. Screenshot of her number in my call log, the timeline, everything. Sent it to my lawyer. He added it to the file. April 18th, I found out through a mutual friend that she and the sober coach were posting all over social media about their beautiful new beginning and finding real love in recovery. There was even a photo of them at some recovery event, his arm around her, both of them smiling like they just won the lottery. The mutual friend sent me the photos. I didn't ask for them, but I looked. Not gonna lie, it stung. Not because I wanted her back, but because I'd given up so much, and this was what I got for it. But then, I noticed something in one of the photos. They were at a restaurant, a nice one, and she was wearing new clothes, stuff I'd never seen before, designer purse on the table. Meanwhile, I'd been eating ramen and eggs to rebuild my savings. April 22nd, her mom texted from a different number. Somehow got through before I could block it. You need to stop this legal nonsense. She doesn't have the money to pay you. You're gonna make her relapse. That one actually made me laugh. I'm gonna make her relapse? By asking for my money back after she ditched me? I blocked that number too. April 25th, the real fun started. I got a notice that my ex was disputing the loan claim. She'd hired a lawyer, wonder where she got the money for that, and was arguing that the rehab payment was a gift given freely within the context of a romantic relationship and that she had no legal obligation to repay it. My lawyer wasn't surprised, said it was expected. We had our response ready. But here's where it gets interesting. My paralegal buddy did some digging, totally legal public record stuff, and found out that the sober coach, he'd been fired from 2 previous facilities for boundary violations with clients. Nothing criminal charged, but enough of a pattern that he couldn't work at legit places anymore. He was running his own private coaching practice now. No certifications, no licenses, just a website and a convincing story. I didn't do anything with that info yet, but I kept it in my back pocket. May 1st, exactly 1 month after she left, I got served with papers. She was filing a restraining order against me for financial harassment and stalking. Her evidence? The demand letter and the lawsuit. That was it. No actual stalking, no contact outside of legal channels, nothing. Just me trying to get my money back through proper legal means. My lawyer said it was an intimidation tactic and would get thrown out. He was right. Hearing was May 8th. Judge took one look at the facts and dismissed it. Told her that legal proceedings don't constitute harassment. She was there with the coach. He stood up and tried to argue with the judge. The judge shut him down real quick and threatened him with contempt. Watching that felt better than it should have. After the hearing, she tried to approach me in the hallway. The coach grabbed her arm and pulled her back, whispered something in her ear. She looked at me with this mix of anger and something else. Maybe regret? Hard to tell. I kept walking. May 10th, my lawyer called with news. We'd done a credit check on her as part of the lawsuit discovery process. Her credit score had tanked. She'd opened 3 credit cards in the last month, probably to pay for the lawyer and her new lifestyle, and was already maxing them out. One of the cards was in default. She'd missed the first payment. My lawsuit was now officially on record with the court, which meant it was showing up on her credit report as a legal claim against her. Even if I didn't win, it was sitting there, dragging her score down. I won't lie, that felt like a small victory. Update 2. 2 months later. It's been almost 3 months total now since she walked out, and if I told you how this has all played out, you'd think I was making it up. But I've got receipts for all of it. So last update, things were heating up legally. The restraining order got tossed, her credit was tanking, and she'd hired a lawyer to fight my claim. Here's what happened next. Mid-May, things went quiet for about a week. No texts from burner numbers, no contact, nothing. I should have known it was the calm before the storm. May 20th, I got a call from my insurance company. Someone had filed a claim saying I'd caused property damage to an apartment. Not my apartment, her new apartment with the coach. They said I'd broken in and destroyed personal belongings. I was at a job site 2 hours away when this supposedly happened. Had 3 witnesses, including my client, who could confirm I was there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I gave the insurance company all the info, they investigated, and the claim was flagged as fraudulent within 2 days. But it gets better. When the insurance investigator pushed back and asked for evidence, my ex apparently said she'd made a mistake about the date. Then changed her story to say it was emotional damage, not physical. The whole thing fell apart. The investigator straight up told me this was one of the most blatant, false claims he'd seen, and asked if I wanted to pursue charges. I said I'd think about it. Added it to the pile of evidence my lawyer was building. May 28th, the coach reached out. Not through a lawyer, directly to my phone. No idea how he got my number since I'd changed it after blocking the mom. His message: "Hey man, I think we got off on the wrong foot. Let's talk this out like adults. She's really stressed about this lawsuit and it's affecting her recovery. You seem like a good guy. I'm sure we can work something out." I showed my lawyer. He laughed and said, "They're getting desperate. Don't respond." I didn't. June 3rd, I got served with another lawsuit. This time, she was suing me for emotional distress and defamation of character. Her claim was that by filing the lawsuit, I was publicly damaging her reputation in the recovery community and causing her severe emotional harm that threatened her sobriety. The dollar amount she wanted? $75,000. My lawyer called it a SLAP suit, strategic lawsuit against public participation. Basically a BS lawsuit designed to drain my resources and get me to drop my claim. Two can play that game. We filed a motion to dismiss and a countersuit for legal fees and frivolous litigation. My lawyer was pissed on my behalf, which, honestly, felt good. It's nice when someone else is angry for you. While all this legal stuff was brewing, I heard through the mutual friend grapevine that things weren't going great in Paradise. The coach's private practice? Turns out he was running it out of his apartment and had maybe 4 clients total. Not exactly a thriving business. My ex had apparently thought he was more successful than he was. She'd been job hunting but couldn't land anything. Between her spotty work history and the lawsuit showing up on background checks, she was getting rejected left and right. The few interviews she did get, she'd mention wrongful legal action being taken against her, and that ended the conversation real quick. June 15th, her credit cards started getting declined. The mutual friend saw it happen at a coffee shop. She tried to pay, card declined, tried another one, also declined. She'd hit her limits and couldn't make the minimum payments. Her credit score was now in the low 500s. My lawsuit, the defaulted cards, the fraudulent insurance claim, all of it was stacking up on her credit report like a house of cards built out of terrible decisions. June 20th, I got a call from my lawyer with interesting news. Remember how I mentioned the coach got fired from 2 facilities? Turns out there was a third incident we didn't know about. A former client of his had filed a complaint with the state licensing board for addiction counselors. He'd never actually been licensed. He'd been working under someone else's supervision and got fired before he could get his own credentials. Everything he was doing now, the coaching, the counseling, all of it, was technically illegal. My lawyer asked if I wanted him to forward this info to the state board. I said absolutely. One anonymous tip later, the coach was under investigation. June 25th, the coach called me again. This time, he wasn't friendly. "You need to back off, man. This is getting out of hand. She's not doing well and you're making it worse." "She dumped me the day she got out of rehab that I paid for," I said. "I'm just trying to get my money back." "You're being vindictive. This isn't about the money. You're trying to punish her." "If I wanted to punish her, I'd do a lot more than file a civil suit. I want my $60,000 back. That's it." "She doesn't have it. Then she shouldn't have accepted it in the first place." He hung up on me. July 1st, her SLAP suit got dismissed. The judge said her claims were baseless and awarded me $8,500 in legal fees. She had 30 days to pay. Spoiler, she didn't pay. July 8th, things started falling apart on their end. The mutual friend told me the coach and my ex were fighting constantly. Money was tight, she wasn't working, he wasn't making much, and now they had legal fees piling up, plus the $8,500 judgment against her. The state board investigation was moving forward. He'd been ordered to cease all coaching activities until the investigation concluded, so his income dropped to basically zero. July 12th, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "Please drop the lawsuit. I'm sorry. I'll pay you back, but I need time. Please." It was her. New number. I forwarded it to my lawyer. He replied to her with a formal settlement offer. $50,000 paid over 5 years, starting with $5,000 within 30 days, or we proceed to trial and I pursue the full amount plus legal fees. She asked for a week to think about it. July 18th, the mutual friend dropped a bombshell. The coach had kicked my ex out, told her she was too much drama and he couldn't risk his career, what was left of it, being associated with her anymore. The guy who'd been posting about beautiful new beginnings and finding real love had dumped her the second things got hard. Karma's a trip, isn't it? She moved in with her mom. The same mom who'd sent me 8-minute screaming voice memos about what a terrible person I was. July 20th, she accepted the settlement offer. Her lawyer sent over the agreement. $50,000 over 5 years, 6% interest, monthly payments of $900. If she missed 2 consecutive payments, the full amount became due immediately. I signed it. So did she. Final update. 4 months later. It's been about 4 months since the settlement was signed, and I figured I'd give you all a final update since so many people have been messaging me asking what happened. The first payment was due August 18th. It was late. Came through August 23rd with no explanation. I documented it, but let it slide since the agreement said 2 consecutive missed payments would trigger the full balance. September's payment was on time. October's was 3 days late. November's was on time again. She's been keeping up with it barely. My lawyer set it up so the payments go into a separate account automatically, so I don't have to think about it unless she misses one. As for me, I'm doing okay. Not great, not terrible, just okay. My savings are slowly rebuilding. I picked up 2 new commercial contracts in August and business has been steady. I'm not where I was before all this, but I'm not in the hole anymore either. Currently sitting at about $9,000 saved up. It's something. I haven't dated anyone. Not because I'm still hung up on her, I'm not, but because the whole thing left me kind of numb to the idea of relationships. My sister keeps trying to set me up with people, and I keep making excuses. Maybe eventually. I heard through the mutual friend that my ex is working at a call center now. Not glamorous, but it's income. The mom apparently kicked her out in September after they had a huge blowout about the settlement payments, so she's renting a room in someone's house now. The sober coach? Last I heard, the state board revoked his ability to practice. He moved to another state. No idea if he's still trying to run his coaching business somewhere else, or if he finally gave up. I saw my ex once in October. Total accident. We were at the same grocery store. She was in the cereal aisle. I was grabbing milk. We made eye contact. She looked away first. I kept walking. Didn't say anything. Neither did she. Part of me wanted to feel something, anger, satisfaction, something, but I just felt tired. Tired of the whole situation. Tired of being reminded of it. The hardest part hasn't been the money or the betrayal or even the legal stuff. It's been the realization that I spent 4 years of my life on someone who was never going to appreciate it. That I drained my savings trying to save someone who didn't want to be saved, at least not by me. My therapist, I started seeing one in June, says I need to stop thinking of it as wasted time and start thinking of it as a learning experience. I'm trying. Some days are easier than others. Do I regret filing the lawsuit? No. I needed to do something. I couldn't just let her walk away with my money and my dignity. Even if I never see most of that $50,000, at least I didn't roll over. Do I think she learned anything from this? Honestly? Probably not. People like her don't connect their actions to consequences. Everything that happened to her, the credit damage, the coach leaving, losing jobs, she probably blames all of that on me. I'm the villain in her story. I've made peace with that. Someone asked me in the messages if I still love her. That's a complicated question. I loved who I thought she was. I loved the person she could have been, but the person she actually is. No. I don't love that person. I don't even think I like that person. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I came out of this victorious. I didn't. I lost money, time, and a chunk of my ability to trust people. She's making payments, yeah. But even if she pays every cent over the next 5 years, I'm still out the interest I could have earned on that money, plus the lawyer fees, plus the emotional toll. But I'm not destroyed either. I'm still here, still running my business, still paying my bills, still waking up every day and getting through it. My sister told me last week that she's proud of me for standing up for myself. That hit different. Nobody had said that to me through this whole thing. Everyone was either telling me to let it go or calling me vindictive. Hearing someone say they were proud of me for not being a doormat. I needed that. I don't know what the moral of this story is. Don't date addicts. Don't drain your savings for someone else. Don't expect gratitude from people who can't even be grateful to themselves. All of the above. What I do know is this: I'm done being the person who sets himself on fire to keep someone else warm. That version of me is gone. And honestly, good riddance. If my ex reads this somehow, which I doubt because she'd have to care enough to look, I hope she's actually sober. I hope she's actually doing the work. Not for me, but because addiction is hell and nobody deserves that. But I also hope she thinks about what she did every time she makes that $900 payment. I hope she remembers that actions have consequences, and I hope the next person she meets is smart enough to set better boundaries than I did. As for me, I'm going to keep rebuilding, keep working, keep going to therapy, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Some days that feels like enough, some days it doesn't, but it's what I've got and I'm working with it. That's the update. That's where I'm at. Not a fairy tale ending, not a revenge fantasy, just reality. And honestly, after everything, reality is enough. My 55-year-old wife said, "I need a younger, more exciting life," and left me for her 35-year-old trainer. I said, "Enjoy your adventure." 6 months later, when she tried to get back on my health insurance after discovering her boy toy was actually married with kids, AARP had already. Original post. I, 58 male, thought we had a good thing going. 32 years of marriage to Deborah, 55, 2 kids grown and successful, decent retirement savings, paid off house. We'd made it through the tough years. Time to enjoy life, right? Wrong. It started with CrossFit. Deborah joined this gym last year, said she wanted to get her body back. Cool, I supported it. Even when the membership cost $185 a month. Even when she started buying $120 Lululemon leggings and those expensive protein shakes. Then came Brad, her 35-year-old trainer. Former military, covered in tattoos, the kind of guy who posts shirtless gym selfies with motivational quotes. Brad says I have amazing potential. Brad thinks I could compete in the Masters division. Brad really understands me. I met him once at their gym's family day. Dude spent the whole time calling me chief and giving me unsolicited advice about my dad bod. I'm 58, not trying to be an Instagram model. I jog 3 times a week and my doctor says I'm healthy. That's enough for me. 3 months ago, Deborah sits me down after dinner. Full makeup, new dress I'd never seen before. "Tom, I need to talk to you about something important." My mind went to cancer, illness, something serious. I'm not happy. I feel like I'm suffocating in this life. I need excitement, adventure, passion. I need to feel young again. "Okay, we could travel? Take that Europe trip you always wanted?" She shook her head. "You don't understand. This life, this routine, this predictable existence. It's killing me. I'm 55, not dead. I deserve to feel alive." "What are you saying?" "I'm leaving. Brad and I are together. He makes me feel things I haven't felt in decades." I just stared at her. 32 years, and she's leaving me for a guy who probably wasn't even born when we got married. He's 20 years younger than you. Age is just a number, Tom. When you're truly connected with someone, it doesn't matter. The most insane part? She'd already packed, had an apartment lined up. Been planning this for months while I thought we were solid. I want a divorce. Brad and I are moving in together. He's gonna help me become a fitness influencer. A fitness influencer. At 55, with 2,000 Instagram followers, half of them bots she paid for. I could have begged, could have cried, could have fought. Instead, I said, "Okay, enjoy your adventure." She seemed shocked I didn't fight harder. "That's it? That's all you have to say?" "What do you want me to say?" "You've made your choice. You're choosing a guy named Brad who drinks pre-workout for breakfast over 3 decades together. Good luck with that." She left that night. Update 1, 2 weeks later. The divorce papers came quick. Deborah wanted her fair share of everything. Half the house, half my 401k, half my pension, alimony. Her lawyer sent this ridiculous demand letter talking about how she sacrificed her career to raise our kids. What career? She worked part-time at a boutique for 3 years in the 90s. I paid for her to get a real estate license she never used, funded her failed Etsy jewelry business, supported her through her photography phase, her life coaching certification, her essential oils MLM disaster. But here's where it gets interesting. Because she left me for another man and we live in an at-fault state, adultery matters. My lawyer, Janet, absolute shark worth every penny, was thrilled. She admitted to the affair? She posted about it on Facebook. Pictures of them together, tagged my new chapter with my soulmate. Janet actually laughed. This is going to be easier than I thought. Meanwhile, Deborah was living her best life on social media. Gym selfies with Brad every morning, green smoothies and sunrise yoga, posts about choosing happiness and never too late to follow your heart. My daughter Qley, 28, called me, furious. Dad? Mom's lost her mind. She introduced Brad to me as her partner. He's 7 years older than me. It's disgusting. My son Eric, 26, was even more blunt. She's having the world's most expensive midlife crisis. Let her crash and burn. But the entitlement was just beginning. Deborah texted me asking for temporary support while the divorce processed. Deborah, Tom, I need help with expenses. The apartment is $200 per month and Brad's between jobs right now. Between jobs, the successful personal trainer who was going to help her become an influencer was unemployed. Me, all communication through lawyers. Deborah, don't be petty. We were married 32 years. Were, past tense, your choice. She tried calling our bank to access my personal account. Thankfully, I'd already separated everything. She called me screaming about how I was financially abusing her. You're being cruel. I have rights. You have the right to get a job. Brad can support you now, right? That's what partners do. She hung up. Update 2, 6 weeks later. The mask started slipping fast. Turns out Brad, the entrepreneur, wasn't just between jobs. He'd been fired from the gym for sleeping with clients. Plural. Deborah wasn't special. She was just the one with the most money. How do I know this? Because one of the other clients, Miranda, reached out to me on Facebook. She'd been with Brad too, thought they were exclusive, until she saw Deborah's posts. Miranda sent me screenshots of texts from Brad from a while he was with Deborah, talking about how he was working on something big and just needed a few months to get set up, and how his current situation was temporary. I forwarded everything to Janet. She forwarded it to Deborah's lawyer with a note. Your client might want to reconsider her demands. But Deborah doubled down. Posted this long Facebook rant about how I was trying to destroy her happiness and how bitter rejected men can't handle strong women choosing themselves. Strong women. She couldn't even open her own pickle jars. Then came the health insurance issue. See, Deborah was on my excellent corporate health plan. Covers everything, low deductibles, includes dental and vision. She assumed she'd keep it during the divorce. Nope. During legal separation in our state, I had no obligation to keep her on my employer plan since she left the marriage for adultery. I removed her during open enrollment, effective immediately. Got a call from her 2 days later. Not a text, not an email, a screaming phone call. You removed me from the insurance? I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Brad doesn't have insurance. He's working on it. Sounds like a personal problem. I have medications. I need coverage. Cobra exists. It's only $1,400 a month. I can't afford that. Shouldn't have left your meal ticket for a guy who lives in his car then. Oh yeah, buried the lead there. Brad didn't have an apartment. He'd been crashing at the gym after hours. When Deborah got them the apartment, it was the first stable housing he'd had in months. My wife left me for a technically homeless personal trainer. Update 3. 3 months in, the divorce negotiations were beautiful. Because of the adultery and the fact that I documented everything, Deborah's demands got shredded. No alimony, adultery forfeit in our state. She got her half of the house equity, but had to agree to sell immediately because she couldn't buy me out. Her half of my 401k from the marriage duration, but with penalties for early withdrawal since she needed cash now. No claim on my pension. The house sold fast. Market was hot. After realtor fees and paying off the small remaining mortgage, we each walked away with about $180,000. Deborah blew through $30,000 in 6 weeks. New car for Brad, leased Mercedes, new wardrobe for her influencer career, professional photography sessions, cosmetic treatments, She was documenting everything on Instagram like she was some real housewife. Meanwhile, Brad's true colors were showing. My neighbor Carl told me he saw Brad at a bar with another woman while Deborah was at her book club. The doorbell camera footage from my old house, still had access until the sale closed, caught Brad bringing someone home while Deborah was visiting her sister. But here's where the entitlement hit peak levels. Deborah's mom, Ruth, called me. This 80-year-old woman who I'd driven to doctor's appointments for years, who I'd helped move into assisted living, called to lecture me. Thomas, you need to forgive Deborah and take her back. Ruth, she left me for another man. She was confused. This Brad character has manipulated her. You're her husband. You're supposed to fight for her. She's a grown woman who made her choice. She's making mistakes, but you're being vindictive. A real man would win her back. A real man respects himself enough not to be someone's backup plan. Ruth actually said, and I quote, "You're going to die alone and regret this. Rather die alone than live with someone who doesn't want me." Update 4, 5 months later. Deborah found out about Brad's side pieces. How? The idiot gave her an STD. Yeah. She called me crying, actually thinking I'd sympathize. He gave me chlamydia. Chlamydia, Tom. I have to take antibiotics. Why are you calling me? Because you're the only one who really knows me. I thought I didn't understand you. I thought I was boring and killing your spirit. I made a mistake, okay? Is that what you want to hear? What I want is for you to never call me again. But she kept calling and texting and emailing. Brad had moved some other woman into their apartment, kicked Deborah out. She was staying with a friend, but the friend was getting tired of her drama. The money was almost gone. The influencer career never materialized. Shocking, who could have predicted that? She was working part-time at a department store, making $15 an hour. Then came the insurance crisis that prompted this whole post. Last week, Deborah texts me. I need to get back on your health insurance. I have a lump in my breast, need mammogram and possibly biopsy. Okay, that's serious. I'm not heartless, but I'm sorry about your health scare. You need to get your own insurance. I can't afford it. The marketplace plans are terrible and cost $800 per month. You should have thought about that before. You're seriously going to let me die because you're petty? Dramatic much? You're not dying. You need a screening. Go to Planned Parenthood. They have sliding scale fees. Here's what she didn't know. I'd remarried. Yeah, quick. But when you know, you know. Patricia, 56, widow, met her at a grief support group I attended for people dealing with major life changes. We clicked immediately. No drama, no games, just two adults who knew what they wanted. We got married at the courthouse 2 weeks ago. Small ceremony, just immediate family. Patricia's on my insurance now as my spouse. So when Deborah showed up at my office yesterday, demanding I add her to my insurance for humanitarian reasons, Patricia was there having lunch with me. The look on Deborah's face when Patricia answered my office door wearing a wedding ring? Priceless. You got married? Patricia, sweet as pie. Yes, 2 weeks ago. You must be the ex-wife. Tom's told me so much about you. Deborah turned to me. You replaced me already? Replaced implies you had the position. You quit, remember? This is Patricia, my wife. But I need insurance. Patricia, still smiling. Have you tried the marketplace? Or maybe that boyfriend of yours can help. We broke up. That's unfortunate. Well, we should get back to lunch. Nice meeting you. Deborah stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then came the waterworks. Tom, please, I'm scared. I need help. You needed help when you were chasing a 35-year-old trainer. You needed help when you were blowing through your settlement money. You needed help when you were posting about your amazing new life on Facebook. Now you need a job with benefits. Update 5. Current situation. It's been a week since the office confrontation. The escalation has been something. First, Deborah went nuclear on social media. Posted about how I abandoned her in her time of need, how I was flaunting my new wife, how men always trade in for newer models. Patricia's literally 1 year older than her, but okay. Her post backfired spectacularly. Comments were brutal. Didn't you leave him for your trainer? Girl, you posted pics with your boy toy for months. Now you're mad he moved on? This is embarrassing. Delete this. My favorite from her own cousin. Deborah, you're 55. Time to grow up. She dirty deleted the post within hours. Then came the family intervention attempts. My former brother-in-law called, trying to guilt me into helping. Her sister showed up at my house, jokes on her. I moved. Even our kids got involved, but not how she expected. Qley shut her down hard. Mom, you made your bed, literally, with Brad. Eric was even more brutal. Maybe focus on getting your life together instead of stalking Dad and Patricia. Oh yeah, the stalking. She followed Patricia to her yoga class. Sat in the parking lot. Patricia, who's dealt with actual problems in life, her first husband died of cancer, wasn't even fazed, just walked over and said, "Deborah, this is embarrassing for both of us. Tom's moved on. You should too." The financial spiral continued. Deborah's car got repossessed, that Mercedes lease for Brad she co-signed. Yeah, he stopped paying. She got evicted from her friend's place for not contributing to rent. Last I heard, she was staying with her mom, Ruth, in the assisted living facility, sleeping on the couch. Ruth called me again. "She's your responsibility." No, Ruth, she's a grown woman who wanted excitement and adventure. She's getting exactly that. Adventure is just another word for poor planning. But here's the real kicker. Remember that health scare? The lump? She finally went to Planned Parenthood. Benign cyst, completely harmless, but she'd already told everyone I was letting her die of cancer, so that was awkward. Then yesterday, got a text from an unknown number. It was Brad. "Hey Chief, heard you remarried. Good for you. BTW, Deb's crazy. Watch your back, watch your back." I responded, "Already learned that lesson. Enjoy your next victim." LOL, she still thinks we're getting back together, calling me 50x a day. I blocked the number. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Final update. It's been 8 months since Deborah left me for her exciting new life. Here's where everyone ended up. Deborah is working 2 retail jobs, living in a studio apartment in the sketchy part of town. Her Instagram influencer dreams, dead. Her account is now private with 436 followers. The last public post was a motivational quote about rising from the ashes she lit herself. Brad moved 3 states away with some new woman he met at a supplement store. Deborah found out when she went to win him back and found his apartment empty. The landlord said he'd skipped on 2 months' rent. She tried one last time to get money from me. Showed up at Patricia's birthday dinner at a nice restaurant. We were there with Patricia's kids and my kids. Full family gathering. Deborah walked up to our table, dressed in what was clearly a new outfit she couldn't afford, and made a scene. "I need to talk to my husband." "Ex-husband," I corrected. "We were together for 32 years. That has to mean something." Patricia, calm as ever. "It meant something. Past tense. Now you're interrupting my birthday dinner." Qley stood up. "Mom, leave. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm your mother. And you left Dad for a guy younger than Eric. You don't get to play the victim now." The manager approached. Deborah tried to claim she was family and had a right to be there. The manager, looking at our clearly uncomfortable table, asked her to leave or he'd call the police. Her parting shot, "You'll all regret this when I'm gone." Eric, under his breath but loud enough, "Promise?" That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, she's been banned from the restaurant. Both kids have gone low contact with her. Ruth passed away, peacefully in her sleep, leaving everything to charity because she was disappointed in Deborah's choices. I got promoted at work. Stress-free life does wonders for productivity. Patricia and I are planning a real honeymoon to Greece. The whole thing cost me about $180,000 and a year of drama. But I gained peace, self-respect, and a partner who actually wants to be with me. Deborah wanted excitement. She got it. Bankruptcy is pretty exciting. Eviction notices are thrilling. Watching your boy toy leave you for someone younger is an adventure. She texts me occasionally from different numbers. Always some emergency, some crisis, some reason she needs money. I don't respond. Patricia and I joke about it over wine. Another text from the ex, she'll ask. "Yep, needs money for car repairs." Didn't she want a more exciting life? Walking is quite the adventure. We laugh. We're happy. Life is good. Meanwhile, Deborah's learning that Instagram filters don't pay bills, that 35-year-old trainers aren't interested in 55-year-old women long-term, and that burning bridges leaves you nowhere to go when the flood comes. Someone asked if I feel bad for her. No, she had everything. Loving family, paid-off house, comfortable life, early retirement option. She threw it away for some fantasy sold by a guy who couldn't even afford his own apartment. Actions have consequences. She chose her actions. These are her consequences. Me? I'm living my predictable, boring life with my age-appropriate wife, my healthy retirement accounts, and my excellent health insurance that covers both of us. Boring never looked so good. Edit. Since some people are asking, yes, this is all real. No, I don't feel guilty. She made her choices. I made mine. The difference is mine didn't involve destroying a 3-decade marriage for someone who does burpees for a living. To the person who messaged saying I'm bitter, I'm literally on my deck right now. Patricia's making dinner. We're about to watch the game. If this is bitter, I'll take it over whatever Deborah's version of sweet was supposed to be. My ex is coming to stay for a week. If you're uncomfortable, you can go to a hotel, my girlfriend declared. I replied, that's thoughtful of you. Then I booked myself a suite for the week and hired movers to put all my belongings in storage. She came home to an empty apartment. I, 31 male, am currently sitting in a hotel suite that costs more per night than my car payment. And I've never felt more clear. My girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend now, I guess, is probably just getting home from her yoga studio. She's about to find our apartment significantly lighter. Her ex-boyfriend Dominic is flying in this afternoon. He's the catalyst for all this. And she's about to discover that his crash pad has been downgraded from a fully furnished 2-bedroom to a hardwood floor. It happened 3 days ago. I was in the kitchen, making a pour-over, and Fiona, 29, was scrolling through her phone, looking breezy. We've been together for 2 years, living together for 1.5 in her apartment. I say her apartment because the lease is in her name, but I've paid my 50% on the dot since day one, and I brought about 80% of the actual stuff into it. The good sofa, the 75-inch TV, the high-end kitchen gear, my entire WFH setup, and the tank, my 150-gallon custom-built paludarium. It's a massive, living piece of art, half rainforest, half aquarium, with dart frogs and rare orchids. It's my pride and joy, and it cost a fortune. Theo, hey, I forgot to tell you, Dom is flying in on Monday. He's going to crash here for a week or so. I stopped pouring. Dominic is the ex, the one she grew up with, the one who is like a brother, the one who still texts her good night, which she swears is just a time zone thing. Crashing? Where? On the sofa? Yeah, obviously, it's just for a week. He's going through some stuff. It's not a big deal. Me babe, a week? I'm not really comfortable with your ex-boyfriend sleeping in our living room for 7 days. Can't he get a hotel? The eye roll. The one I'm so tired of. Oh my God, Julian, don't be like this. He's just Dom. He's broke right now. His startup failed. It's just platonic. We're friends. I understand that, but it's our home. It's a boundary. She let out this huge put-upon sigh. She put her phone down and gave me the "you're a difficult child" look. Fiona, look, he's coming. It's my apartment, and I said my friend can stay. If you're going to be uncomfortable or weird about it, you can just go to a hotel for the week. Or stay at your brother's. I don't care. I just don't want your energy messing up his visit. I just stared at her. If you're uncomfortable, you can go to a hotel. She suggested I leave my home, that I pay to be displaced, so her ex-boyfriend could be comfortable, so my energy wouldn't mess up his visit. It was like a switch flipped. All the little compromises, the eye rolls, the "you're being paranoid" comments, they all just clicked into place. This wasn't a partnership. I was just the guy who paid for things and lived there. I smiled. A small, tight smile. Me, you know what, Fiona? That's incredibly thoughtful of you. I think I'll do that. I don't want to be in the way. She beamed, like I just solved her problem. Great. See? Easy. He lands Monday around 3 p.m. I'm picking him up after my 1 p.m. class. She kissed my cheek and went to get ready for the gym. Easy. The next 3 days were a blur of logistics. I am a project manager. I am good at logistics. Hotel. I didn't book a Holiday Inn. I booked a 10-day stay at an executive residence suite. Kitchen, king bed, twice weekly housekeeping. It's expensive, but I've been saving. I booked it starting Monday morning. Movers. I called a high-end moving company that specializes in rapid moves and delicate items. I explained I needed to be out in 1 4-hour window. Monday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Fiona leaves for her yoga studio at 7:30 a.m. and doesn't get back until 1 p.m. It was perfect. I paid a premium for the rush job and the specialty team for the paludarium. Storage. I booked a 10 by 20 climate-controlled storage unit. The gift: I went to a big box store and bought the most expensive queen-sized air mattress they had, the kind with the built-in pump. I also bought a new set of sheets and a pillow. A little housewarming gift. I spent the weekend quietly packing my personal effects. My clothes, my toiletries, my documents. Fiona was busy texting, getting the place ready for Dom. She cleaned the guest bathroom. She bought his favorite snacks. She didn't notice me packing my DOP kit. She was too excited. This morning at 7:31 a.m., she left. At 8 a.m. the truck arrived. The crew was amazing. They were fast. They wrapped the sofa, the chairs, my standing desk, my entire WFH setup, including 3 monitors, the 75-inch TV, the sound system, the nice cookware, my espresso machine, the good knives. The last thing to go was the paludarium. It took 4 guys, and it was stressful, but they got it out without a crack. By 11:45 a.m., the apartment was empty. I left her stuff, her rickety old bookshelf, her bed. I took my mattress, left her old one, her clothes, her yoga mats. In the center of the vast, empty living room, I placed the box with the new air mattress. On top, I left a note. Fiona, per your suggestion, I've gone to a hotel so as not to mess up your visit with Dominic. I took my things so they wouldn't be in your way or make me uncomfortable. Have a great week. Julian. I took a final look around. The silence was wonderful. I'm now in my suite. I just had a very quiet, very sane lunch. My phone says it's 1:05 p.m. Any second now. And there it is. Fiona Julian. Where is the TV? Fiona. What is going on? This isn't funny. Where is all my stuff? Julian, answer me. Dominic is landing in an hour. Where is the sofa? You took the tank? My lizard tank. They're dart frogs, but whatever. She's calling again. I'm going to let it go to voicemail. I think I'll order a drink from room service. Update 1. It's been 24 hours. I am exhausted, but also vindicated. The sheer weapons-grade entitlement is something to behold. So after her initial barrage of texts, 32 texts, 14 missed calls, she finally left a voicemail. It was unhinged. We're talking screaming. Julian, you thief. You stole everything. Dominic is here and we're sitting on the floor. He thinks I'm some kind of loser. You did this to humiliate me. You bring my stuff back. You bring it back right now. Her stuff. Interesting. I didn't reply. I was busy sipping an old-fashioned and watching my much smaller hotel TV. The real fun started around 8 p.m. last night. She must have had a few drinks with Dom. A new number texts me. Unknown. Hey man, this is Dominic. Fiona's really upset. Look, I don't know what your problem is, but you've really screwed up her place. She's embarrassed. Can you just bring the TV and the sofa back tonight? We want to watch the game. The audacity, the unmitigated gall. He's the guest in my home that I'm not in, and he's demanding I return my possessions for his entertainment. Me? Who is this? It's Dom? Her friend? Ah, the guest. Listen, Dominic. Everything you're not sitting on belongs to me. I've moved out. Per Fiona's suggestion, she has an air mattress for you. I bought it myself. Enjoy. What? She said you were just being weird and went to a hotel. She didn't say you left. She told me to go to a hotel if I was uncomfortable. I was. So I left. Permanently. And I took my property. Have a good visit. This is messed up. You can't just leave her like that. Blocked. Then my phone rings. It's Fiona. I'm an idiot. I figured I should just get it over with. Hello? Julian, you talked to Dom? You're leaving me? Like, leaving? Yes, Fiona, you told me to leave my home for your ex. I'm not going to be a backup plan while you two catch up, I'm out. But my stuff. You took my stuff. You took the espresso machine. You took the good pans. You took the sofa. I helped pick out that sofa. Me, you picked it out. I paid for it. I have the $3,200 receipt. It's my sofa. The espresso machine was a gift from my brother. The pans were mine. And the tank. You know how much I loved that tank. You called the frogs lizards 5 minutes ago. I have the $4,000 receipt for the custom build. It's mine. All of it is. There was a pause. I could hear Dominic muttering in the background. Ask him about the deposit. The movers, they scuffed the walls, all down the hallway, and the floor. You're going to lose me my security deposit. You have to pay for that. You owe me. Me, I'm paid up on my half of the rent until the 1st of next month. The moving company is fully insured. Send me a professional painter's quote and a flooring estimate for the actual damages, and I will forward it to their insurance claim department. That's how professionals handle it. A quote? I don't have time for a quote. I have a guest here. He's sleeping on an air mattress, Julian. An air mattress. A very nice one with a built-in pump. I bought it for him. You're welcome. I hate you. You're a financial abuser. You took my furniture. I took my furniture. You seem confused about the difference. Goodbye, Fiona. I hung up. My hands were shaking. Not from fear. Just adrenaline. The sheer entitlement. They genuinely 100% believed that their right to have a comfortable reunion superseded my right to my own property. They thought I'd just fund it. This morning, I woke up to a new stream of texts. She's now claiming I stole her laptop. Her old crappy laptop was on my desk in my office setup. The movers, in their efficiency, packed the entire desk contents. Whoops, it's in a box in my storage unit. You stole my laptop. That's theft. I'm calling the police. Fiona, it was packed by mistake with my office equipment. I have it. I am apartment hunting today, but I can leave it with the concierge at my hotel. You can pick it up from the front desk this evening. You will have to show ID. The concierge? You're not even gonna meet me? And you're apartment hunting? So you're serious? This is all because of Dom? I told you he's just a friend. You are the most insecure, petty, controlling man I have ever met. I didn't reply. I've already found a new place, a 1-bedroom, all mine. I'm signing the lease tomorrow. She can pick up her laptop whenever. But she's not getting my new address. Update 2. It's been a week. I've moved into my new apartment. The movers were again fantastic. The paludarium is set up in my new living room. The frogs are happy, and the sound of the waterfall is the only drama I'm dealing with. The hotel stay was nice, but expensive. I'm glad to be in my own space. The fallout with Fiona has escalated. The entitlement has gone critical. First, the laptop pickup. She showed up at my hotel. I'd left it with the front desk, just as I said. I was in the lobby bar, working on my own laptop, and saw her come in. She went to the desk. The concierge asked for her ID. Fiona, I'm here to pick up a package from Julian. Yes, ma'am. May I see your ID, please? Fiona, through grit teeth. It's just a laptop. He knows I'm coming. Policy, ma'am. I can't release a package without ID. She was fuming. She clearly expected me to be there, groveling, begging her to take me back. She shot a look around the lobby, saw me, and her eyes narrowed. She shoved her driver's license at the concierge, snatched the laptop bag, and stormed over to my table. So this is it? You hide behind a concierge? I wasn't hiding. I was efficient. You got your laptop. You're welcome. Dominic left. Oh? That's a shame. Did he not enjoy the air mattress? He left because you made it so uncomfortable. He said our situation was too chaotic. You ruined it. He was going to help me with my new business idea. His startup failed. How was he going to help you? He has connections. You don't know him. You just destroyed everything. And for what? Because you're jealous? I finally looked up. I closed my laptop. I'm not jealous, Fiona. I'm just done. You told me, your partner, to leave my home so your ex could stay. You didn't ask. You told me. And you suggested I pay for the privilege. That's not a partnership. That's a landlady and a very stupid tenant. And I'm not a tenant anymore. But the tears started. Real ones this time. I can't afford the apartment by myself, Julian. You know that. The rent, you have to come back. No, I don't. Then you have to pay. You owe me. For the furniture. It was our furniture. You can't just take it. I did take it. It's in my new apartment. It looks great, by the way. I have the receipts, Fiona, all of them. You're not on my bank account. We're not married. It's my property. She just stared at me, her face crumbling. The entitlement was being replaced by sheer, cold panic. You owe me $2,500 for new furniture, or I'm taking you to small claims court. Go ahead. I'll see you there. Bring your proof that you paid for anything. Now I have work to do. You should probably go figure out your rent. She thought that was the end of it. Oh, I was naive. 2 days later, I get a call. Unknown number. I'm smart now. I let it go to voicemail. The voicemail, it's not Fiona. It's her mother. Sharon. Julian, this is Sharon, Fiona's mother. I am appalled. I am just hearing about what you've done to my daughter. You abandoned her. You stole all her possessions and left her in an empty apartment to be evicted. What kind of a man does that? She is sobbing. You have broken her heart and you've left her homeless. You call me back, and you tell me how you're going to fix this. She genuinely thinks I'm going to fix this. I didn't call back. This resulted in a pincer movement. Her mother started calling my mother. My mom, who is a sweet, retired librarian, was suddenly getting calls from this hysterical woman, Sharon, screaming about how her son was a thief and a cruel financial abuser. My mom called me, confused. Julian, honey, what is going on? A woman named Sharon keeps calling me saying you stole furniture? I had to explain the whole thing. My mom was quiet for a long time. My mom, oh dear. Well, she sounds like a piece of work. You did the right thing, honey. Don't you dare give them a dime. My mom then blocked Sharon's number. Fiona must have realized the family attack wasn't working, so she tried one last, desperate, dirty trick. I got an email from the landlord of my old apartment, subject notice of lease violation and damages. My heart stopped. I opened it. It was
I had to stand there in my pajamas and explain to 2 very tired cops that I was perfectly fine. Me. Officers, my ex-fiancée and her mother are retaliating against me because I sold my own property. Cop. Sir, we have to ask, are you feeling like you want to harm yourself? Me? No. I'm feeling like I want to drink my coffee. I'm in the middle of a work call. Here's my lawyer's card. Please add this to the growing file of harassment. They left, apologizing for the bother. It was mortifying. Dirty trick number 2, the business call. Celeste, true to her word, tried to get me fired. She didn't know who my boss was, so she just called the main line of my company. She got Barb, our receptionist, who has worked for my family for 25 years and basically co-raised me. Celeste, screaming, I need to speak to Leo's manager. He is mentally unstable and a corporate liability. Barb, in her signature deadpan, Leo doesn't have a manager, dear. He owns the company. This is Precision Dynamics. You've reached Barb. How can I help you? Celeste, what? Barb. He signs the checks. My check, in fact. Now, you're tying up a business line. Is this a professional call or a, personal one? Celeste apparently just hung up. Barb called me right after. So, that's what's going on. Want me to start forwarding all her calls to that fancy lawyer of yours? Yes, Barb, please. Dirty trick number 3, the ambush. This was the worst. I had to go to my old bank branch to finalize some paperwork related to the old house's utilities. As I'm walking out, Brenda jumps out from behind a pillar. Leo, you can't ignore us forever. I almost dropped my briefcase. Brenda, you're not supposed to be contacting me. Don't you hide behind your lawyers. You have ruined my daughter. She can't eat. She can't sleep. She is living out of boxes in my guest room. I paid for storage, Brenda. That was her choice. You humiliated her. You did this performance, just to make her feel small. No, I did this because she told me I wasn't on her financial level, and I was tired of being looked down on in my own home. You raised her to believe that. This is the consequence. Now, please excuse me. I tried to walk past. She grabbed my arm. You owe her. You owe her for her time. 4 years she gave you. 4 years she could have been finding someone appropriate. Someone on her level, I finished. I pulled my arm away. Don't touch me. Don't come to my business. Don't call the cops on me. Tell Celeste her lawyer can talk to my lawyer. That's it. We're done. I walked away while she was still yelling. It's not over. We will get what she deserves. This is so much worse than I thought. They're not just entitled. They're broken. They genuinely believe they are the victims here. My lawyer is now filing for a restraining order. Update 3. Hello again. It's been about a month. The restraining order was granted after the bank ambush and the phony welfare check. Brenda and Celeste are legally required to stay 500 feet away from me, my home, and my place of business. This, of course, has not stopped them. It has just made them dumber. The main event of this update isn't a dirty trick. It's the pivot. After a month of her lawyer getting absolutely nowhere, because again she has no case, Celeste apparently decided a new strategy was in order. The restraining order means she can't contact me, but it doesn't mean her friends can't. I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Leo, it's Madison, Celeste's maid of honor. Listen, I know you're mad, but Celeste is a wreck. She misses you. She told me what she said, and she knows it was stupid. She was just stressed. Can't you just talk to her? I sent it to Ms. Alvarez. She advised me to ignore it, a clear attempt to bypass the court order. Then, 2 days later, I get a call from Mark, my supposed best friend, who was supposed to be my best man. Mark: Hey, Leo. Man, this is a whole mess. Me: Mark, good to hear from you. Been quiet. Mark: Yeah, well, listen, I had dinner with Celeste. My blood went cold. You, what? Mark: Just hear me out. She reached out. She's devastated. She told me everything about your company, the inheritance. Leo, why didn't you tell me? Me: It's my business, Mark. It's not who I am, or I thought it wasn't. Mark: Well, that's the thing. Celeste gets it now. She sees the full picture. She was just acting out because she was insecure about her finances, trying to, fake it till you make it. She loves you, dude. She's just ambitious. You should admire that. Me: She told me I wasn't on her level, Mark. She and her mother humiliated me. They harassed me. They called the cops on me. Mark: They were panicking. You pulled the rug out. What did you expect? Look, she's willing to go to counseling. She'll do whatever it takes. She just wants her life back. Your life. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He'd been completely turned. Me: Mark, did she or Brenda offer you something? Mark: What? No, dude, that's low. Me: Is it? Brenda cornered me at my bank. Celeste tried to get me fired. They're not panicking. They're manipulative. And now you're their puppet. Tell Celeste. No, don't tell her anything. I'm disappointed in you, Mark. I hung up. But the grand finale, the revenge part you've all been waiting